Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. Some moments are destined by fate, others, through sheer force, become etched in history. On July 5, 2026, the world witnessed just such a moment at a packed MetLife Stadium. It was more than a mere football match, it was a tale of triumph and downfall, distilled into 90 thrilling minutes. For the mighty Brazilian squad, the path to a sixth World Cup title seemed all but assured, yet, a Viking-like giant stood in their way. This is the story of Erling Haaland, who with just 2 strikes of his boots shattered a footballing powerhouse and propelled a nation to heights they had only ever dreamed of. The stage was set in New Jersey for a classic David vs. Goliath clash in the round of 16. On one side stood Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil, 5-time world champions, boasting global superstars and carrying the immense expectations of an entire nation. On the other was Norway, returning to the World Cup after 28 years, a team built on courage, discipline, and the extraordinary talent of their number 9. From the opening whistle, it felt as though the outcome had already been written. Brazil, clad in their iconic yellow jerseys, played with absolute confidence and total control over the tempo of the game. Their attack was flawless, their movements swift enough to leave the opposition reeling. Vinicius Jr. was constantly surging down the left flank, and it seemed only a matter of time before Brazil found the back of the net. And then, roughly 15 minutes into the match, the moment arrived. Matheus Cunha broke into the box, only to be halted by a sliding tackle from Christopher Aguerd. After a quick VAR review, the referee pointed to the penalty spot. Brazil had been awarded a penalty. The stadium erupted in a roar of jubilation. Although Vinicius Jr. initially picked up the ball, in a surprising decision, he handed it over to Bruno Guimarães. This choice would later prove costly for Brazil. Guimarães stepped up, hesitated, and unleashed a weak shot that Norway's 35-year-old goalkeeper, Orjan Nyland, easily saved. A golden opportunity was completely squandered. This miss dealt a major psychological blow to the team for Norway. It was a significant boost to their confidence. For the remainder of the first half, Brazil applied intense pressure on the Norwegian goal. Nyland was in inspired form. He used every part of his body, including crucial saves with his feet, to deny both Gabriel Martinelli and Vinicius Jr. Norway was under pressure but refused to crumble. They went into the break goalless, having somehow weathered the storm. The second half began with renewed pressure from Brazil. Sensing growing frustration, Ancelotti took a bold gamble and sent his young talent, Endrick, onto the pitch. Just 52 seconds after coming on, a brilliant pass from Vinicius Jr. set him up for a goal, but a poor first touch saw the chance slip away. The groans of disappointment from the Brazilian fans were clearly audible. It seemed as though the ball simply refused to find the net that night. Then, in the 68th minute, Ancelotti made his biggest move. He brought on Neymar. The arrival of Brazil's famous number 10 sparked a frenzy. Everyone believed their savior had arrived, yet Norway's well-organized defense held firm. They absorbed the pressure, averted danger, and simply waiting for their moment, and for their own player to step up. That moment arrived in the 79th minute. After a sequence of 7 exquisite passes, substitute Andreas Schelderup advanced down the left flank and delivered a perfect cross. Erling Haaland leapt above Premier League rival Gabriel Magalhaes and powered a header into the net, a shot Alisson Becker was powerless to stop. Norway took a 1-0 lead. Norway's small but spirited group of fans erupted in joy, while the Brazilian supporters fell into stunned silence. Brazil pushed desperately for an equalizer, but Nyland was in inspired form. He even pulled off a brilliant save to prevent an own goal by Christopher Aguerd. Then, as the clock hit the 90-minute mark, the unexpected happened. Finding space outside the box, Haaland received another pass from Schelderup. He controlled the ball and unleashed a low, powerful shot that nutmegged a defender and found the net, leaving Alisson unable to even dive for it. The scoreline read 2-0, game over. Haaland simply stood there with a faint smile as his teammates mobbed him in celebration. It was his 7th goal of the tournament, putting him ahead in the race for the Golden Boot. But the drama wasn't over yet. In the dying moments of stoppage time, 10 minutes into added time, Brazil was awarded another penalty. This time, there was no controversy. Neymar stepped up, composed and calm. He scored his 80th international goal, further extending his record as Brazil's all-time leading scorer. Yet, there was little celebration. Moments later, When the final whistle blew, the reality set in. Norway had succeeded. They had won 2-1, reaching the World Cup quarter-finals for the first time in their history. For Brazil, it was a moment of defeat. It was a national disaster, their earliest exit from the tournament since 1990, as the Norwegian players celebrated with their fans performing their famous Viking roar. Neymar was captured on camera in a state of utter devastation. The 34-year-old collapsed onto the pitch, tears streaming down his face, while his teammates tried to console him. Shortly after the match, the superstar announced his retirement from the Brazilian national team. I tried, he said, his voice thick with emotion. It's all over now. A brilliant career came to an end not with a sixth-place finish, but through the heartbreaking experience of a defeat against a formidable team. This match had it all: an unthinkable upset, the rise of a new superstar like Erling Haaland, and the emotional farewell. Where does this match rank among the greatest World Cup upsets of all time? Let us know in the comments below. So, a historic night at MetLife Stadium, a night when Norway dared to dream, and a Viking king defeated the world's most successful football nation. It was a tale of two contrasting destinies: Erling Haaland marching toward success, leading his team into a quarter-final clash against England, while Brazilian legend Neymar was retiring from international football for good. The rise of one hero, the farewell of another, such is the magic and the cruelty of the beautiful game.